All right, so last time on Shadows of Greyhawk, we joined our party outside of Diamond Lake as they helped a local goat herder named Zeb Loosebottom, whose goat herd had been slaughtered by unseen terrors. The team discovered that the culprits were wild packs of feral dogs that had returned. The team returned to Loosebottom with evidence enough to get paid. Meanwhile, at the Come On In, the location where both Goldie and Rona work, word spread of a bold theft at Lazaire's house. A dragon chest set of elven craftsmanship, a treasure of great beauty, had vanished. Its owner, Kellic, a formidable newcomer with ambitions of uncovering lost tombs in the Cairn Hills, was fuming. A reward heavy enough to turn heads was offered for its return. So the party visited the scene of the crime, Lazaire's house, a refined gaming parlor in the central square of Diamond Lake. They spoke with the bouncer, Davin, and pried more from the city's gutters, a nervous street urchin named Percy, whispering of a gang tough named Jarek who had been flashing around more than a bit of coin down on Tolliver's Row. So Jarek, stubborn as a rock underfoot, refused to yield the truth, but Gold and the unyielding master of men like these loosened the tongue of his lackey. Turns out Jarek had been hired to steal the chess set by a merchant named Ambrose Thelmere, who had a bruised ego after having lost pretty substantially against Kellic in Dragon Chess. So the chase was on. Thelmere's caravan, which was laden with goods and guarded by blades for hire, was tracked to Old Wayfarer's clearing along the high road. The party sought stealth, but fate laughed at them. Torben charged boldly into battle, and he landed a massive blow headbutt to one of the swords for hire. Goldie followed, fist flying. Osric summoned a magic missile that seared through the air and found its mark. The guards retaliated with deadlier attacks, as was alluded to earlier, drawing blades and blood. In the chaos, Rona slipped into the shadows like a predator on the prowl. Thelmere's guards hesitated under the weight of the surprise attack, while Rona buried a dagger into the merchant's back, severing his spinal cord and silencing his schemes with one single word that he uttered: "Why?" The guards, their courage now drowned in the blood of their employer, surrendered and brokered their safety. The dragon chest set was recovered. The next day, back in Diamond Lake, the party returned the chess pieces to their owner, Kellic, and were rewarded. Impressed, Kellic paid them the 20 gold bounty and offered the party a job. Intrigued by their skill and daring, Kellic indicated that he and his companions were interested in the cairns and promised good pay for information on a lucrative find. An opportunity had presented itself. So, my friends, we're going to pick up here with our story. I would say that probably a day has passed. You probably spent a day recovering from wounds, the rest of that day gathering yourselves together, and then perhaps reconvening at a location of your choice, perhaps to Come On In, perhaps the seclusion, relative seclusion, and secrecy of the barn out back, maybe somewhere else. But you have come together now, healed of your wounds through various means, and coming up with a plan, if it were. So, my friends, what would you like to do?
Well, I think Osric has been asleep. He didn't have a very good night's sleep. He woke up sweating, the word "why" reverberating in his head. And the first time he sees Rona, that later that afternoon, the next day, whatever, and we get lunch or hang out or whatever. He's gonna approach Rona and be like, "Hey, Rona, what was that like? Killing him? Have you ever killed a man before?"
Not that way.
Not that way, but other ways. What other ways have you killed a man before?
Rona kind of looks around and say, well, sometimes people die when you don't do things.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I know. I've dealt with lots of dead bodies. I've just never seen it happen quite like that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're on my side. That's all I
trained on dummies.
Yeah, well,
sex and stuff, and it worked.
I mean, I've been offered coin before for people to train on the bodies but wait, that's sort of looked down upon.
But you used to what they look like afterwards. So yeah,
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot.
with less blood in your job though.
Yes, that's true. Also, it's true. Also. They don't talk as much either.
They smell bad, don't they?
They sometimes, yeah. There's some good alcohol and flour mixtures. You can do some tinctures. Do make them smell better.
Oh dear.
Anyway, let me go get some beers while Goldie and Torben join us.
Goldie's gonna roll in. You'll see Goldie's like this blonde straw hair is all mashed over on one side, which would denote that last night, sharing a room with Rona, this was the first night that she slept facing away from Rona because she is confident that Rona has her back now. She believes that when it gets bad, she now trusts Rona to keep her safe too, because of what she saw, the murder that occurred. So she's gonna roll in, try to smash her hair back down, and sit down with you guys, admiringly looking at both of you now. So what are we talking about?
Oh, Rona killing that Ambrose guy.
Had to be done.
Cairns. Are we going to Cairns?
Yeah, no,
See
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I was gonna wait till Torben got here and then discuss my
Okay.
idea.
Yep. Mhm.
Torben will come stumbling into the inn as well. I believe he stayed in the barn with everybody else. So
We gave you
kind
the
of-
big blankets.
awoke with a grunt when he heard Goldie leave the barn, and he kind of shambles into the inn as well. Where are you guys talking about?
Oh,
Where are we supposed to go?
Yeah, we're talking about next steps. I mean,
Yeah.
if we got that offer. Well,
Oh yeah.
It could be
Here's-
extremely lucrative.
here's the thing. I mean, he talked about the Sturgeon Cairn, but that's already tapped. We know that's already
Yeah,
tapped.
everybody knows that.
Yeah, well, obviously these guys don't, but I mean, that's not going to do us much good to give them bad information. So, but I do know about a place that may be good for them. I don't know where it's located though. It's called the Whispering Cairn. I think that's what it's called. Anyway,
Yeah.
I have maybe a way to get some more information. I do have access to Allustan's library, as you all know.
At the library again.
Yeah, that is a place for learning things you need to know, and we need to know. So
We need to know.
You
but
can study.
You
Yeah.
need
Mhm.
to find out for us.
I mean, okay,
Libraries make me sneeze.
it's true. There shouldn't be
Well,
much
Rona's
danger.
seen libraries before, and she realized that they can be useful, but she might not love them. She's not a bookworm. Yeah.
Well, if you would like to expand your horizons, you're welcome to join me.
Okay.
I can go and find out what I can find at the library.
Is
Maybe
it rough
it'll
in
be-
the library? I mean, do you need someone to
Uh,
back you up or anything? Is it
I-
dangerous?
They should be okay.
Is there like a library gang?
Not that I'm aware of.
Rona whispers to Torby, like, we are probably the gang now.
Ooh.
I mean, Allustan's scullery maid, she's kind of rough around the edges, but she usually
Uh-huh.
leaves me alone.
Yeah.
So you're saying there's a chance I could punch someone?
I mean, there's always a
Saying
chance.
there's a
Goldie.
chance.
I mean, I'm happy to come if you want, but
Well, you're welcome to join me. You know what? I do know he's got some very good books on pugilism. That's fighting.
mhm. Are there pictures?
But yeah, of course.
Okay, I'm in.
All right. Well, I'm gonna
Let's
get
discuss
going
it.
after we finish lunch.
Yeah, I guess we all go to the library then. Yep.
So I'm assuming you guys are at the come on in, probably. Is that a fair assumption that you'd be at the come on in? Also, Rona also would know that there is another potential source. Just to throw another option into the mix of gathering information, Rona has heard rumors also of the cairn, the Whispering Cairn, and also that the garrison cartographer is said to have a map, a detailed map of the hills surrounding Diamond Lake. Over 70 years of information on said map. Now, that is information that you can do with what you will, but it's just another option in terms of ways to maybe figure out how to find this fabled cairn. You guys watch as you're kind of finishing up your meal. Oh, go ahead, Anna. Go ahead.
I was going to say, Osric, do you know this garrison guy well?
Which the garrison?
The
town?
chief.
The Diamond Lake?
Yeah.
Well, you guys would all know there's a massive military fortification in here. Let me bring up the map. I'll show you where it is.
Like she wants to get to know them right now. Might not be the day for it.
I mean, I've had very limited interaction.
Anyway.
Basically, whenever anybody dies there, I mean, that's the only interaction we have.
Okay, well then maybe we skip that one for
yeah, for
lunch first.
Yeah. We'll see what we can find at the library, and if nothing else, and that's a good lead.
Yeah.
All right, Osric's gonna head off to the library. If anybody who wants to come is welcome.
Okay, we trot along here then. Yeah.
Okay. All right, let me bring up the map here. There we go. Oh.
And Osric's going to time it such that by now I would imagine I know Allustan's schedule. And I want to try to avoid him basically because I don't know if I'm allowed to be bringing friends into his house.
Uh-oh.
But I don't tell my friends that.
Yep. So so here's just to give everybody sort of a little bit of orientation. So here's the come on in over here on the, I guess, northeast side of town. The garrison is this massive fortification here. And you guys would see soldiers from the garrison on a regular basis walking around town, frequenting some of the local establishments. And they're essentially Free City militia who have been stationed here at the behest of the leadership in the Free City of Greyhawk to protect the resources and the access to the mining resources here. So pretty well fortified. The cartographer's office would be somewhere inside of that garrison place. So meanwhile, Allustan's residence is up a little bit a ways away over here. Right in this area here. So as you make your way to Allustan's, you walk up and there's this, as you're walking down the lane, there are these small houses that you pass and people are, it's early morning to mid-morning at this point and people are bustling about doing their things. You walk down, there are horses that are bearing carts as they go by you, and you end up making your way to the gated compound that is Allustan's. It's this kind of charming red and blue estate, and it's strange. Around Allustan's property, the grass is greener. The trees look to be more robust. The wildflowers and the grasses are all flowering around here. There are pollinators, bees and flies buzzing about, visiting these very beautiful, ornate flowers as you approach the estate. And as you walk in, it turns out perhaps you must have not understood his agenda, his itinerary. Perhaps you never really knew it all that well, depending on kind of how much time you've actually spent with him. But as you open the gate and walk in, you can see that in this interior of his compound, there is this very beautiful sort of meditation garden, a small pool, rocks arranged in a very particular way, as you probably would have seen. I'm sure, Osric, that if you have spent time trying to gain Allustan's favor in any way, which it sounds like you have. You've spent time weeding his gardens, on your knees, weeding the gardens and pulling out weeds and tending to some of the vegetation. He is very particular about these things, but he does also, as you know, because you've seen him take guests in the courtyard. He doesn't generally like having people inside of his home, to be honest with you. And you know this because generally even people that he knows well, including his brother, the mayor governor of Diamond Lake, he oftentimes will meet outside, and he's got this really large tree stump that he sets up as sort of an impromptu table. And you can see him just milling about as you walk in. He's milling about his gardens, and he's this tall, dark-haired figure, long dark hair, long dark beard that's braided in a very almost dwarven-like style. And he looks up at you and he says, "Yes, can I help you then?"
Big, deep bow. Master Allustan, I am here to peruse some books in the library that we're interested in.
Oh, well, are you? Oh, well. And who shall I make the acquaintance to?
Well, this is Goldie. This is Torben, and this is Rona.
And you are?
Oh, your faithful servant Osric. Lord Edelston.
Servant?
Yes, I weed the garden.
Oh, yes, the errand boy. Yes. Oh, have I sent for you?
Osric turns to he's very pale, but he starts turning a little bit red around the cheeks. No, sir, not. You haven't sent currently for me, but well, I was just passing through, and I wanted to stop by and see if you needed anything in addition to perhaps asking your permission to go to the library.
Yes, I do have a list actually, and he pulls out this piece of parchment,
good,
and it unravels from his hand as he stands about 6 foot tall, all the way and hits the ground. It's just this massive piece of parchment, and you can see it's a huge list of items on it. Yes, there's quite a bit of. I've been doing some thinking, and I think I'm onto something, but I do need some important ingredients for the alchemical reactions. And you can see that he starts to sort of fade away as he's talking. Not physically fading away, but just mentally sort of like looking. He says, yes. Oh, and then he looks back to you. Oh, you're still here. Yes, well, we'll sit for a while. Take a load off, they say. And he gestures over towards the stump. And he goes over and takes a seat.
Look over at my companions like, no.
Okay, we kind of sneak over and sit down and try to look unobtrusive, and we're not scaring him. Yeah.
So tell me, what is it that you are interested in learning in the library? I don't typically, I don't typically invite people into the library unless there's a very particular reason. And oftentimes I can answer many of the questions. Now, I typically do charge a bit of a fee, but since you are the errand boy that you say you are, I do vaguely recognize you, I must admit. Perhaps I will provide a bit of information, but then, and he's rolling up the list, but then the items, yes?
Yes, of course. Well, I didn't expect you to be home, which is why I was going to go to the library. But you, of course, are a much better resource than any library. What we're interested in is are there any? What do you know of the Whispering Cairn? We've heard rumors, but nothing substantiated. And well, we figured that if anybody could, that'd be you.
Whispering Cairn, you say? Where did you come by this name?
Oh, rumors hereabout.
Yes, of course. Cairns, of course, as you most likely know, are a bit of a fascination to me. Yes. Part of the reason why I came back to this otherwise forsaken town. Yes, the Cairns. I've been studying them a bit. The Whispering Cairn, you say, is of great interest to me. Perhaps older than many of the other cairns that are located in the hills around Diamond Lake. many of which have been pillaged and plundered over the years. Possibly the Whispering Cairn as well.
Well, the rumor was that the Whispering Cairn was probably the least likely to have been looted. As I said, we don't know much about it. Why we've come here?
That's why you came to me. Of course, of course. Well, I can tell you that to uncover an unplundered cairn would be quite a feat. Quite a feat indeed, something that I would be quite interested as well. The history that could be relayed from the items and artifacts within. And unfortunately, many of the items that have been stolen from the cairns over the years have disappeared from study. There's no way to read the glyphs, read the history within these items and understand what was happening. But if you were to bring to me some sort of item that still was able to reveal mysteries, this would be of great import. Remind me your name again, errand boy.
Osric.
Osric, yes, indeed you are Osric, and your friends. Well, yes, perhaps you could, bring me something to look at, and then I could help you with more insights.
I would be more than happy to add that to the list. But one issue is that we don't know where it is located. That's part of the reason we want to look at your cartography section.
Oh, yes. Well, we could certainly look at the maps, but I would assure you that I do not know of a cairn, and I have studied the Whispering Cairn. I do not know its location, but I do know that the Wind Dukes, if you've heard of them, an old civilization, ancient, built cairns in these hills, and it is quite possible indeed, that the Whispering Cairn is of theirs. Yes, indeed. It is quite possible.
Are they not extra-dimensional beings?
You have studied this, Osric?
I do like to read a book or two.
Rona try to figure out which direction they have entities that sticks out in unusual dimensions. Yeah.
Yes, they are said to have traversed the multiverse in an epic battle, and having fought some of those wars to the north, come to these hills to bury their dead, their warriors. Now, whether this is true or not, it's hard to say. Artifacts that tell of these tales are few and far between. The libraries of Greyhawk hold some insight, and of course, I was there not long ago studying them myself. If there is a Whispering Cairn, I would be interested to know this.
Well, it is our intention to find it. So I will, of course, will let you know the first thing we find about the Whispering Cairn, Master.
Yes. Yes. Osric, good.
This is all very fascinating. They seem to be not only mighty warriors, but also very good at keeping a secret.
Indeed.
We'll look elsewhere and see what we can find.
Well, do not get your hopes up too high, Osric, because as I had mentioned, many of the cairns, the tombs, the resting places that were established in the hills here have long been plundered. But if you find something, a relic, that could be something indeed. Something quite valuable, and more valuable than gold.
Indeed, of course. Well, we will endeavor to do just that. Thank you so much, Master, for the information.
Yes, and then he kind of hands over the scroll.
And the list. I will add that to my to-do.
Yes, and be snappy about it, please. I have much to do.
Yes, Master.
Very well. Be on your way.
Thank you again. And I get up very quickly and motion to my friends.
leave. Yeah.
As soon as we're out of the gate, I say, he's forgetful. He's a mighty
It seems
wizard, and that
to
takes
be-
a
yeah.
toll sometimes. Yes.
So I didn't catch all that. Did we kind of figure out where they might be?
No. He knows about it, but he doesn't know where it is. So that tells me, boy,
We
that's
need to go to your the garrison chief that you deliver stuff to. Can you sneak there?
sure. Does the to-do list have anything to do with the garrison whatsoever?
No, and it's like mundane things that you would pick up at the at Tagan's General Store. You know, where Tagan's General Store is kind of this one-stop shop that has equipment, supplies, foodstuffs. It's sometimes
stuff.
spell components and things of that nature. It looks like maybe Allustan has a package that needs to be picked up or something, but it all seems rather mundane.
I look at the list and sort of go through it, like whispering, yeah, like I've done this a million times. Yeah, okay.
Is there stuff that we need for our voyage? I mean, let's just say that it's on the list too.
I mean, let's try to kill as many birds with one stone as we can, and start doing the list. I think the only lead then, if Allustan doesn't know where it is this map that the garrison made. I don't know any of the garrison people except for some of the ones I've talked to when picking up bodies, but they probably.
Yeah, I don't know anybody over there. I mean,
But listen, are we really gonna bring stuff back if we find it? I mean, we'll get this thing, whatever. But like he wants some evidence. Other guy wants evidence. Like this could just be big money for us.
It could be, but it could also be very dangerous.
We're gonna go regardless. I mean, dangerous when we get back and have cool stuff, but not giving it to anyone, or dangerous when we're there.
Dangerous when we're there.
We're gonna be there regardless.
It's true. It's true. But let's
Just keep the stuff.
the stuff is usually, it's one thing finding the room where the stuff is. It's another thing going into the room where the stuff is. Do you
We can go to
understand?
the room. Let's go into the room.
Sure, we could go into the room, but then
I'd go in the room.
Oh,
I'd
okay.
go into the room too. Me and Torben
I think-
will go
I
into the
think-
room.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think
this-
I would go.
This
for
will
sure.
go swimmingly. Yes. Okay. Very good. this no danger whatsoever. Should be
I
fine.
mean,
This will be fine.
yeah, I
No,
mean,
it'll be fine.
if we find something, we could like name our price.
That's true, I suppose.
If there's more than one person that wants to buy it. Just saying.
Also true. And the other party might not be interested in the same stuff as Allustan, so that's probably okay. So Rona, do you have any contacts in the garrison? I mean, you were the one who knew
I
about
don't
this.
think so. Do I?
You have rumor. You've heard the rumor about the garrison cartographer,
Yeah.
and who has potentially this map of the
That's so
area.
cool. Yeah.
Yep. Rona likes maps.
Rona understands what's up and down on the map, so she
Okay.
has basic
That's
knowledge. Yeah.
Yep. A couple you don't know anybody in particular. However, why don't let's have everybody roll a charisma check.
Oh,
And it'll be the target's going to be just a normal check, so it's going to be a 12. Target is a 12. Okay.
hmm.
So 14 plus 1, so 15. Yeah.
Okay.
I rolled too many times, but none of them made the target. So
None of them did. Okay. So Rona, I will say this: you can kind of decide for yourself sort of how you want to interpret this knowledge, but you do know that within the garrison walls there is a Temple of Heironeous, and there is a priest there named Velius Childramun. That's an interesting name. Velius Childramun. He's an elderly priest. that you probably have seen around town. He'll oftentimes give coins to some of the street urchins, some of the maybe the down and out kids like Percy, who don't seem to have a coin or a way to gain coin without maybe doing things that aren't totally above board. So he's kind of an elderly fatherly figure who will oftentimes be seen about town. You also know, maybe from talking with him, maybe Heironeous is important to you. I don't know, or any of you really, but you would know that there is a weekly service at the temple. Involves a lot of chanting. That's all I'm going to say. A lot of chanting, a lot of soldiers, mostly soldiers, but it's open to the public as well.
Let's go.
We can chant,
Yeah,
right?
I chant
Yeah,
all
we
the
can
time.
blend. I can blend.
You can.
I don't know if I've ever chanted before.
We'll just follow along. It's very easy.
Oh, I've heard a lot of weird religious
programs.
singing. So yeah,
I-
she grew
I
up
won't-
with it, but
I won't know the
maybe
word.
not the Heronian type. But maybe she saw a Heronian or two sometimes. But
Yeah, you just follow along, whatever they're saying. It'll be something like, "Oh, holy Heironeous," that's
yeah,
it,
whatever. Yeah.
over and over again.
Yeah.
Doing it since I was 5 years
We
old.
we are like, yeah, pagan or whatever you call it in Greyhawk. That would be
Maybe,
old faither, but
old
he's not
faith,
really an
yeah.
old faither. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah. So
Alright.
the old flan
I guess
flan
we go
religion.
there and do they go around asking for money?
I don't know what the Heironians do. Maybe.
Obviously, none of you have been to any of the services. It sounds like.
Exactly. We
yeah.
haven't.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
Rhoda is kind of looking around to see if and sits down there and see if there will be a time when they're going to collect money,
My sect,
like money for the poor or something. Yeah.
my sect doesn't do public services for anything, so I've never been to a public service. We'll see. Let's go.
The problem is that your sect doesn't have the map, and we would have been.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys would have been set for sure.
Should have been,
Yes.
Should have been a Heronian. Who knew?
Yeah.
Too easy.
So you get the sense that you could gain access to the garrison by going, to this the service, and chanting and maybe prostrating yourself before the invisible one, or the invincible one, I should say. And then there's the
impressed.
task associated with finding the map in the cartographer's office, which I would say you guys would be definitely clever enough to know that is not something that is going to be lightly handed over a map that is over 70 years old. So there might need to be a little bit of inventive. You might need to pull some
Also, you can
hijinks.
copy, can't you? You can draw a sketch if you see it.
Well, yeah, of course.
Good.
We need to get some
And we can.
parchment and some.
And
ink.
we can have that ready.
All right.
Just so happens
Do we
parchment
need
and
to
ink
get that?
were on
On
Allustan's
the
list.
list.
Yeah.
Boom.
I'm
Yeah.
sure I could commit it to memory.
I'm sure you could. Yeah, so we'll hit the general store, get some parchment and ink for Allustan, and some parchment and ink for ourselves, and pick up his package.
Okay. Yeah, you can do all that. We can kind of hand wave that. You deliver it back to Allustan's residence and
Yep.
set it down for him at the door, and he graciously tips you each 2 gold pieces for the effort, and thanks you. But he seems to be very, very distracted as he quickly says goodbye, takes his leave, and disappears back inside of
The
his.
immediate delivery package service. Yeah.
Yep, that's right. Yep, Diamond Lake deliveries.
Yeah.
I'm saying master, but don't get the whole word out as the door closes in your face.
Nah.
Okay. Well,
But
we'll
you
never
have
tell you,
procured.
Aaron, boy.
I appreciate. I prefer.
Yes, you
more
will.
consistent.
I mean, what I say and what I mean are not always the same voice in the sky.
At some point, you guys, while you're doing all these duties and taking care of these chores and tasks, you run into Percy, and he's like,
Yeah.
hey, Rona, hey guys, everything go okay? And he's like,
Hello.
you can see he's kind of like scratching his arms and he's kind of fidgeting, and maybe he has fleas.
Okay.
It's hard to say, but
You have fleas?
Do you need some ointment?
yeah,
You or a bath?
that's a very personal question. What
You
is
can
this, a
jump in the lake.
shakedown? You're shaking me
no,
down
we
again
just-
for the fleas?
No. We just making fun of you a little bit. Sorry.
Oh, sure. Super funny. Looks like you got your finger bandage. That's good.
Yep. I'm on the mend.
Hey, I don't want to alarm anybody, but I heard that the constables are trying to get to the bottom of some sort of a murder that happened the other night out at Old Wayfarer's Clearing. Did you hear about
Okay.
that? A bunch of people got killed.
A
bunch of people got killed.
Bunch of people got
Sounds
I
killed.
think we
terrible.
would've
Yeah.
heard about that.
You just did. I just told you.
I mean, like,
Yeah.
seems
I
like
don't
it'd
know.
be big news.
They just said a bunch of
The
people.
wolves again?
Who got killed?
The wild dogs?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
must
I
have
just
been the
heard
beast.
people got. Just
That
all I'm
beast
saying
that
is be
was around.
careful out there. There's somebody going around killing people.
Oh well, I
like a
appreciate the
murderer
warning.
on the loose.
I mean, yeah, those are the types of people that will kill people, right?
Well, what
It's
did
not
they say? I mean,
non-murderers
like,
doing the
a
killing.
bunch of people got
What they
murdered?
say about this?
A bunch of
killer?
people got killed. Oh, they don't know who did it. That's what they're looking for. They were marching around this morning. Looked like they were questioning people. I don't know. Hopefully they get to the bottom of it.
Well, good to know, Percy. I appreciate the heads up.
Yeah, be careful.
We will keep an eye out, guys, for any murderers.
So what are you guys up to? Mind if I tag along?
Errands.
Yeah? What kind of errands? Can I help?
Delivering
Yeah,
packages.
we are going to the temple.
The
Do
temple?
you frequent that establishment? Do you know the Heironeans?
I mean, I know of them.
Yeah.
Do you?
No, not really.
I mean, there's the priest
Never
who's really
really-
nice. That old guy, he's pretty nice.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, aren't they like Heironeous is like pretty important, and like he's all about the soldiers and like fighting and justice and stuff. So
Yeah.
like, boy, I bet Heironeous is gonna come down hard on those murderers. Oh, I bet, big time. Oh, woo! I wouldn't want to be them.
Yeah.
No.
Probably. Yeah. We're going to the service.
Oh,
Have you ever been to one of those services before?
mm-mm. I don't know if
Open
that's
to the
for me,
public.
really.
You know the old man though.
Yeah. I mean, I know him in the sense that he like comes down into town, and I mean, he's nice.
Yeah.
No.
You want to come along?
Okay.
All
I'm
right.
not sure if she made a brilliant move or if she screwed up
Or a
royally
whole
here.
little
So yeah,
sure here.
yeah, we'll see. Yep.
Got to take as we walk. Say to Rona, like, we can maybe use him as a distraction, but I don't know how much we need to let him know about what we need to do.
He can probably figure that out by himself. Yeah.
Percy will turn over to Torben and be like, "So, how long have you been a dwarf?"
What are you talking about?
That's awesome.
What?
I was born in.
Rona.
What do you-
Rona smiles. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
How old are you?
you don't get out of town much, do you?
Not so much. It's dangerous out there. There's murderers. There's beasts. I heard there was a beast that was killing Loose Bottom's sheep, goats, sheep, and cattle.
You realize that last month Torben was a halfling. Now he's a dwarf, and he's leveling up. Yeah.
Mhm.
That doesn't happen.
sure.
Leveling?
I'm 34.
Whoa, you're old.
Well, not really that old for a dwarf.
You've been a dwarf that whole time?
Yeah.
You guys get the sense that Percy is not that smart.
Yeah.
He's also, I kind of vision him as he's kind of like that Linus character, you know, or no, Pigpen. Sorry, he's got the like the flies are like flying around him, and he's like scratching and stuff. Like he gets a little too close, you can smell him pretty good.
Here, I hand him some ointment. The ointments that we put on the corpses to make them smell better.
Whoa, what's in this? That's pretty good.
It's good stuff. Yeah,
He
rose
dumps
water,
like
that sort of stuff.
a handful.
There you go. That's
I
better.
don't know if that's better or worse.
No, now it smells like him and rose water. So you know,
It
2-1.
keeps the bugs away.
It should.
It helps.
Yeah.
For the
Smells
moment,
great.
at least.
Well, should we go to the garrison?
Okay.
Yeah, let's go.
How often do they have services?
Once a
We would
week.
Ask.
It's starting any minute now, right?
Maybe. Usually they ring a
They
bell
should-
just before it starts, and that's when you suddenly hear a ding 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 ding.
Perfect timing. Well done.
It's funny how
Percy.
that happens.
They should use these temples a bit more often. They seem to be underused. Yeah.
Let's go. And he'll like slide his arm into yours, Rona. Like lock arms with
Okay.
you.
Uh-oh.
Little
Maybe-
does he know, where's
Yep.
the burger?
All right, so you guys make your way down the path. It's like maybe a 10-minute walk from the center of town as you traverse this well-worn path, well-rutted with wagon wheels and horse hooves, and it kind of does the old back and forth as it climbs up onto the top of this hill. There's sort of these two hills in town. One has the garrison atop it, and the other one has the governor mayor's residence up on the other hill. And they kind of look down at, and actually Allustan's residence is kind of like in the valley between these two. I guess I could bring up the map to show folks what I'm talking about. But the garrison is off here in the bottom left-hand corner, and the governor mayor's residence up here on the top of the hill in the upper right-hand corner. Yep, exactly. So you guys make your way to the garrison, and the gates are open. It is well defended in terms of sentries. There are guards that are posted at the entryway. The portcullis is retracted. It is up. It's free entry. You can see there are some other worshipers that appear to be walking along the path as well, and you can sort of link up with them in different groups if you'd like, and you can listen to some of their conversations. And they talk about some just mundane things that are going on around town, perhaps that sort of thing. Nothing too interesting. Some talk about the murders that happened the other night, and they actually mentioned the name of Ambrose Thelmere having been killed at a campsite not far to the west of town. So you get a sense that there is some level of concern, perhaps.
If we insert anything into those conversations, it'll be something to the effect of, "Oh, I heard he was a thief." Stuff like
Ooh,
that.
yeah, kind of planting some
He was
information.
bad with some of the He
Yeah,
was
and
bad
one
with
of the men who's walking kind of turns and says, "Yeah, I heard that he had lost some dragon chest to somebody in town and was real upset about it and fuming, and just a sore loser, probably got what was coming to him."
Yeah, I think he made enemies with the wrong people.
Well, as the Invincible One says, justice is dealt, and it's not always dealt with a soft touch.
Yeah, well, he's got something there,
The
look
Invincible
meaningfully
One's
over at
got
Rona.
something? Yes, he does. So you walk through, you pass through this iron reinforced gates. As I said, the portcullis is up. And you enter this broad courtyard, and you can see again that it just looks like there's a lot of activity that goes on in here right now. It's somewhat quiet. You can hear the clamor of soldiers that are sort of marching to and fro, their armor and their blades making a little bit of a racket. You can hear some voices here and there. You can hear the clang of a smith hammering. You can hear a horse's neighing. There's sort of the acrid smell of the forge sort of wafting through maybe a welcome aroma compared to some of the things that you've smelled over on the east side of town, like the smelting house and the dead bodies of the boneyard and things of that nature. And in the mid, as you walk in, this is the first time that any of you have been into the garrison proper, including Percy, and his mouth is just open as he's looking up, and you can see this very squat, sturdy, 2-story fortress-like structure in the middle, surrounded by this tall wall that goes all the way around the complex. And to the left, you see the stable. To the right, there's a number of different barracks that house the troops that are stationed here. Something around 60 enlisted members of the Free City Militia that are stationed. And you can see the Free City's heraldry on a flag snapping in the wind and fluttering in the wind. And off to beyond sort of the stables and down a path past a small little garden area. It looks like probably some foodstuffs are being grown there, maybe some components for alchemy or herbalism or some sort. But you walk by and you can see that there is a fairly sizable temple, which also looks to be made of the same construction. You probably had caught word perhaps that they had done some upgrades to the Temple of Heironeous, but yeah, it's this beautiful structure, and as you walk up to it, people are starting to file into the entrance and walking inside, and you can see that there is an elderly priest who's standing outside greeting people as they come in, and he sees the five of you walk up, the four of you and Percy. He said, "Oh, welcome to the Temple of Heironeous. I don't recall seeing the likes of you here at the services previously. Welcome, come."
First time. I've made sure to sort of hide my holy symbol of death.
Sure, smart move.
Yeah.
First time.
No, well, welcome. It is a first for everything, and I think you'll find it quite invigorating. Yes.
I hope so.
I'm sorry for my rudeness. My name is Father Velius. Pleasure to meet you all. You look familiar to me. You live in town?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Very good, very good. Well, the service is about to begin.
Well, pleasure to meet you, Father Velius.
Yes, indeed. I'll see you inside then. And he sort of nods and puts his sort of hands into his robes and just kind of walks inside. And the five of you are standing there, and Percy's like, "Okay, cool." And he starts to follow the old man into the temple.
I lean over towards my companion and feel like, any of you get a lay of the land? Like, look, Ronan, you know where the cartographer's office is? Or
No.
Yeah, what did it?
maybe
sorry,
we'll take a little tour after the service is over. Or
during. I mean, isn't everyone going to
During.
be busy during the service?
If
true.
everybody's here, it might be a good time to go there.
yeah, is the whole garrison inside the chapel?
No. There's still going to be guards stationed at different areas, but there's a sizable number of soldiers that have filed in
Soldiers.
to. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. We'll make sure to be in the rear pews, all the way in the back,
Rear
Mhm.
pews. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
next to the
Good.
door.
These
what
are-
if you don't know the words to all the chants?
We'll just let
that a
them
problem?
say it first, and then just repeat what they say.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
That's the best way. And there might be a lot of standing and sitting. I don't know what these are going to do. just be aware. It'll be quite a workout. Looking for any exit doors, like other than the one we just came in, some side doors or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, like as you walk into the nave, right? There's the pews are all lined up, and there's the altar, and on the wall, behind the sort of dais in front, there's this massive fresco, beneath the fresco, there are doors that appear to lead into maybe like the preparation rooms or maybe the residence rooms of the priests. There is a young, handsome, brown-haired man with long sideburns who's wearing some very ornate-looking robes that is at the front of the temple and beginning the ceremony. So there's some doors that lead into somewhere behind the altar. There's the main door that leads back out. And this fresco is just for sort of flavor. You would see this, and maybe you would know, but it depicts a battle between what looks to be a very valiant warrior and this six-armed, almost demon-like creature. And for those of you who have some religious background, Osric probably, I would think, maybe some of the others, you would know that this is sort of a classic depiction of Heironeous and his traitor's half-brother Hexter in battle. And so that sort of is over this bronze wood altar that sits below it. The holy symbol is lit. There's a bunch of stained glass windows on the sides, and the light shines in at just a perfect angle for the time of day to sort of illuminate the symbol, the holy symbol of Heironeous, which of course is the lightning bolt. Very cool. And they launch right into it. So the only to answer your question, that was a long-winded answer to your question, but the answer to your question would be that there's the main door that you came in is probably the likely exit that you would use. Yeah.
And right before he starts, Osric's gonna take great pleasure in explaining what a fresco is and how the paint is applied while the plaster's still wet to my friends who don't know. And whatever the scene is depicting, I'll explain that too, assuming that they don't know what it is.
And as you sort of just give that information out, the service begins, and it's a classic Heironeous, situation where there's some sort of discussion of how the world is a deadly place and how there's perpetual challenges and trials for those who defend justice, defend the weak, defend the innocent. These people are very self-righteous in their purpose on this land to bring justice to a lawless place, to uphold the Heironian code, which is like duty to the people, where you see like justice and mercy, protection of the weak, very patronizing too in a lot of different ways. But in a sense, sort of coming from a place of social duty. There's the duty to the Archpaladin Heironeous himself, devotion to the church and upholding and defending the church itself, championing good against evil. So they talk a lot about that duty to the lady, which is like pertaining to the concept of like courtly love, and there's an essence of like romanticism almost to some of the words that are coming from this priest's mouth. And then after this is all happening, they start to launch into this sort of call response of chanting. And that's when you start to see people are sort of like bowing their heads, and they start to get into more of like a personal moment as they're chanting along with the priests. So at this point, you kind of get a sense like people are sort of like occupied a little bit. Percy is doing his best to like follow along. Yeah, people's heads are down.
All right. When people's heads are down, I sort of motion to everybody.
Rona is intrigued.
We can come back for the second.
She's very intrigued. She likes this service much better than the Cuthberts. So she's intrigued. She wonders, do they bless swords and what are the tenets? She liked the message. Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot less less self-flagellation than the Cuthbertians.
These are much more.
Yeah.
She likes these guys much better. She's impressed and intrigued, so she doesn't hear when Osric start whispering something over them.
Osric's like trying to get Rona's attention because Rona's sort of the sneakiest one here. So.
She's almost seeing the lightning here, so to speak. So she's kind of
Goldie's also kind of distracted, I think, too, because she's got the opportunity to do some singing. So she's singing really terribly and doesn't also hear.
Rona doesn't participate in the chat. She's observing and being kind of intrigued rather than, yeah. She doesn't.
Torben started nodding off during the service.
Nobody's ready for you.
That's right.
Basically sleeping.
That sounds about right. It's probably very soothing at this point, so that makes a lot of sense.
It was going to be Ocean's 11, but
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, I love it. Okay, so yeah, you guys,
halfway through the second chant, he was out.
yeah, and you get the sense that they're just getting started. So things are
Well,
going to get real good.
we'll have to come back to the second service. Yeah.
All right, so do you guys want to do anything while the service is happening?
This is awesome. Yep. Nope.
Osric was so not interested. He's been to so many services he doesn't even want to recall, much less a Heironian service. So I'm gonna try to get my compatriots' attention, but if none of them, I'm gonna step outside and sort of see how far I can get.
Sure. Yeah.
Without drawing too much attention.
All right, so Osric, you slip out of the pew while the chanting is happening and people are falling into the trance-like state, and make your way back out into the courtyard. I like it. Does anybody else go with, or are the rest of you gonna get spiritual?
Yeah, Torben would go with you.
I would go too.
I don't know. Goldie's singing, Torben's sleeping, Rona's.
Just give Torben
Yeah.
a nudge. He'll come with
It
you.
seems so
Yeah, just
satisfied.
a little.
Bring Percy.
Yeah, a big person.
Singing at the top of my lungs.
Oh.
Terrible.
Percy just kind of looks over and he goes, "Where are you going? You're leaving?"
I'm gonna take a little walk around. I've never been here before.
Don't leave without me. Don't leave without me. I'm gonna stick around.
Tell us how it ends.
Okay, I will. Shh. All right, so one by one you slip out. Although Rona, are you sticking around? Are you gonna hang out with Percy? Are you gonna go? You are. Okay. All right. So the three of you slip out into the courtyard, and as you do, you can see that there are a number of different sentries that are sort of marching about. There's they don't seem to pay a whole lot of attention to you. You've already come in through the outer patrol. There's a courtyard patrol, a couple of different guards that just sort of are milling about. There's a couple of what appear to be off-duty militiamen who are, having conversations over by the smithy, who appears to be working on maybe some weapons or something like that. And people are not paying a whole lot of attention to a couple of children, kids, if you will, that are hanging out in the courtyard yet. So what would you like to do, Osric and friends?
I would love to try to get us over to the main building there, the main garrison. Because I'd imagine any offices are going to be in that building. I don't want to spend too much time in the courtyard.
Sure. Yeah. You walk over and there are these massive wooden doors at the main entrance, stone stairs that go up to this sort of beautiful ornate set of doors that are sort of arched at the top. And they've got these big brass handles on them that you pull them open, and you look inside. There's just a long corridor inside.
Okay. If asked, we all had some bad soup. We're trying to find the privy.
Duty to the people.
Duty to
soup.
the people.
Defend the weak.
Yes, Goldie. Focus.
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
She's already been converted.
Yes. It was great in there.
Hey,
Yeah, bad soup. I got it. I'm right with you.
All right, excellent. Let's. I'm just gonna look to where there might be offices and head in that direction.
Okay, yeah, there are a variety of rooms within here. They look to be like maybe classrooms. They look to be maybe like rooms where there are maps that are like, maps in strategy sort of tables where they have like troop, almost like minis, where they maybe be moving minis across a big map. And it's not hard as you're walking down these halls, making a fair amount of noise because of the echo of your feet on like this granite-like polished floor. Everything is spotless in here, by the way. And you see a couple people who are like cleaning things up and maybe sweeping or dusting some of the paintings that are on the walls in here, which depict various battles of the realms and that sort of thing. You see a little sign, a little placard that says cartography office.
Sweet. If there's nobody at the door, going on in.
You walk up to the door and the door is locked.
Rona.
Oh, damn.
You forgot to bring your thief.
Yeah, no, I didn't forget. The thief is being converted.
As you are at
Hold
the
on a
door,
second.
like
And I'm gonna.
working the knob. Go ahead.
I was just
Yes,
gonna
hold on.
shoulder check it. If
Yeah,
nobody's in the
right before you do that, someone there are people in the hallway, and a woman turns to you and, can I help you with something? Hello? Can you hear me? Is this thing on?
Wait, Bill, wait.
We were sent to pick up a map.
Oh, well, it appears as though Master Cicada is not
From the office?
not here.
Is he at the service?
Quite possibly, many of them are. Yes, yes. You'll have to come back, perhaps.
Okay, all right, well.
We're
Maybe
kind of
we
under
could just
a
wait
time
for him in the
constraint.
office.
Well, I mean,
But-
the office appears locked.
Defend the weak.
What was that, dear?
It is. It's locked.
Defend the weak.
Yes, of
Decent
course.
people.
He caught part of the service.
Oh, good.
That soup.
Is she like one of the cleaners? Is she a servant here?
She works here.
This lady?
Yeah, she's
Does she like have a uniform?
employed. No, but she's dressed nicely. She's dressed like she's at work. Yep.
Okay.
She's pretty well put together. I mean, the people and everybody you've seen here has been pretty well put together. There's no like, they're not. These are not servants types. They're more like employees of the garrison.
All right. Well, we know where it is. Does this room seem to, from just the layout that I saw coming in, does this room seem to have a window that we would know?
Yeah, there's a window on, there's a little bit of a pane of glass on the door where you are standing right now. But it's, it's sort of like that warped sort of look. You can't look through it and like see things. It's just sort of like, you can see into the room a little bit and make out like shapes perhaps. There's a little bit of ambient light coming in from a window on the other side of the room. And it's on the exterior wall of the compound.
All right. Take note of that and thank the lady.
If you'd like to wait, there are some benches.
Oh, wait.
Try
can-
waiting.
We can wait.
If you have business with Dietrich, then that might be the best.
First in line.
That's right. There won't even be a wait,
Okay, go ahead and
other than
Top
waiting for
squad.
him to arrive, which could be a while.
right. Yeah, we'll sit, and if it gets too late, we'll just come back
Very well.
and take a seat.
So how's the ceremony or the
Oh,
service?
riveting. Absolutely riveting. You are learning so much about Heironeous.
Yeah, she never
Yeah.
thought she would be interested in religion ever in her life, but this is different. These dudes are having a much more interesting message.
Yeah, there's a lot of in the chanting. There's a lot about how evil must be confronted. That Heironeous empowers the brave who will confront evil head on.
She likes
Upholding
that
the
she-
tenets of the
Rona wants to
code.
be a warrior. Yep. Today. She
Yeah,
wants
you're
to
in the
be a
right
warrior.
place.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. And that, they talk a lot about chivalry and justice and honor, honor amongst the warrior class and all that kind of stuff, and helping the people. I mean, it's really about their
Doesn't really
duty to the
understand what
people.
honor is, but she likes the message. Yeah.
Does
Mhm.
Rona hear shiv as opposed to chivalry?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chivalry.
Stabbing people? Perfect.
Why? It's too soon.
Too soon.
Yeah,
Yeah, so you're learning a lot. We're learning a lot, Rona.
she's expanding her repertoire here. She realizes these people, a lot of them seems to be warrior types, and she's impressed. Yeah.
Meanwhile, Percy, you can just hear him sort of like he kind of snorts himself awake, like he fell asleep for a minute, and he kind of looks at you and just sort of like goes back to his chim.
Oh dear.
All right, so the rest of you are sitting in the hall along a bench. You feel like you got called to the principal's room as you're waiting, and the people who are cleaning and sweeping have gone down there at the far end of the hall now.
Did they go away?
Yeah, for all intents and purposes, they're sort of like a little far, like maybe down around the corner.
A little further. All right.
Mhm.
I don't. Yeah.
Well, Osric, what? How about this for a plan? We say we're here with a list from your boss, Allustan, and he sent us to like pick up a map or two for study.
That's not a bad idea.
You think that would work?
It might.
I mean, it might be a little easier than trying to steal something in the middle of a garrison.
I mean, I still have the list. I could just.
Can we copy that handwriting?
I could just write it at the end of the list.
Yeah. Pick up possible locations of
Whispering Cairn. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
Ask probing questions about
Cairn.
Cairn.
Whispering Cairn.
It says right here on my list. I need to do this, sir. Well, now we have his name, right? So let's write that down on the. We have his name. Okay. Dietrich Cicada, right? That was his name.
Yes.
I believe.
Pretty
Yep.
cool name.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and since we have time, I'm gonna go ahead and take out the ink that we bought earlier. Get the list with all of Allustan's stuff on it, and put that at the end of the list. Mention the cartographers by name.
Are there any other doors that are close to this door on that side that could also maybe go to the cartographer room?
There's a bunch of different doors. It's unclear what rooms they go to, but certainly there are other doors here. Absolutely.
I would like to try another door on either side of this door.
Okay, yeah, they're both locked. And it appears as though no one's inside. As best you can tell, no one comes to the door, at least when you sort of like test the door. I don't know if you like rattle it or try to turn the knob or whatever, but they appear to be locked. Most people, it seems like, other than maybe the janitorial staff and maybe a few others, are at the services. But yeah, you don't. It doesn't budge. You're locked out of these rooms, at least for the moment.
That's a excellent plan. Since we have time, I'll go ahead and do that as nicely as I can, and then we'll wait.
Okay. All right, so you guys wait for a while, probably another, 30, 40 minutes. And finally, the service is over at the Temple of Heironeous. People are leaving the service. Rona and Percy stand to sort of, and you guys watch as all of these individuals begin to leave, and the old priest comes to you and says, "Well, what did you think of our little service? Our offering
impressive.
to Heironeous." Very good. What impressed you the most about the service, young one?
Oh, their courage and steadfastness and defend the weak.
Oh yes, do you feel a bit of a calling, perhaps to take up the mantle of our invincible one? Yes.
If I might be worthy sometime, I definitely want.
Well said, well spoken. Your name again is?
Rona?
Rona, it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Velius Child Ramon. And he kind of gives you a nice little polite bow. Well, I will look forward to seeing you again.
I do like the Cuthbertians and show my gratitude to the superiors and yeah.
Yeah, little deference to the clergyman.
Yep.
And he he just says, I will look forward to visiting with you again, perhaps next week at our service. You are always welcome.
Thank you so much. Yep.
And then he looks over at Percy and says, perhaps a bath would be good for you, young one. And Percy's just like, yeah, probably. I could probably use a bath. And he says, well, clean yourselves up and we'll see you next time. And everybody kind of lets out. So Rona, let me ask you this. Before we jump back to the others, what are you going to do? You and Percy are kind of standing there now.
Yep. She got something to think about, and she's impressed, and she asked Percy, do you like the message? What do you want to do when you grow up?
It didn't really resonate with me all that much. I mean, when I grow up,
hanging around here for the rest of your life. How old is Percy? Meaning he's like a teenager or 25, 30 years old?
No, he's probably like 10. He's like 10 years old. He's just a kid. Yeah, he's younger than you are probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
You need to do something when you grow up. Don't think this could be something. And Rona kind of looks at, is Percy war material, so to speak, in the making, or?
He looks like he was wasn't well fed as a baby. He's like, he's a little. There's something off about him. And he's filthy. He's filthy dirty.
Yeah. But Rhoda realized that might be used for people with a little bit of off in war too. So, but then she realized that Heironeous probably don't like thoughts like that. So Percy might be one of the kind that needs to be protected. So she says that they are probably here to protect you too.
Oh, you think so? Like they'll protect me?
Oh yes, definitely. Oh yeah.
Huh. Oh, yeah. You know what? I think I did like that. I think I liked the Heironeous stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll come back. I mean, maybe we can come back together. I mean, now that I'm part of the crew and everything, maybe we can get the whole gang back. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of which, where did your friends go?
Rona realized it. I don't know, so we need to figure that out. Yep. Mm-hmm. So Rona kind of looks around and see any obvious directions that might have gone, or they're not outside.
They're not outside. I mean, there's this big 2-story compound that's likely.
Or anything like that.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Yeah, no dead bodies laying around.
No. You can see as you step back out in the court, you can see a group of townsfolk are kind of like leaving, going out the main gates and heading back into town. There are the garrison troops are sort of like filing back to wherever they go. They're not in the courtyard. A couple of people are walking back towards the large building complex. No, you don't see your friends.
Yeah, there's one other big complex. So I guess she heads over there to tell Percy, come on, let's check out the other building and see them if they're there.
Okay, sounds good. So you guys head to the complex, and as the three of you are sitting in the hallway, you see this man walk up, and he is probably the least put together of the individuals that you've seen thus far inside this building. He looks as though he's got some dirt on his boots as he's walking in, leaving a trail of dirt as he walks past you and goes up to the cartographer's door, pulls out this big ring of keys and fiddles with them and like can't remember which key it is, and then he gets the key and opens the door and walks inside. And you also see Rona and Percy. Rona and Percy join you guys in the hallway.
Okay, Rona makes a sound or makes this to Percy, like, and then we continue to walk. Yeah.
I'm gonna follow the guy. If I can catch the guy before he goes in, as soon as I see him opening the door, I'm gonna approach him.
Yeah, he's working the door.
Me, are you Master Dietrich Cicada? I'm looking at the to-do list as I'm saying the name, as if I'm just reading it out for the first time.
He turns.
I
Yeah.
have been
How can I help
sent
you?
by, Master Allustan. I have a to-do list. I'm his personal assistant, and he was looking to perhaps borrow a map, and I show him the to-do list and say, we're looking for. He's looking for a map, perhaps for the location of the Whispering Cairn, or something like that. Yes.
He
Whispering Cairn,
roughly
sorry.
grabs the list out from your hands, and he pulls out this circular lens of glass, and he holds it up to his eye, and it's a long list. Yeah, sure, there it is.
Yes,
They
he's a very
spelled my
demanding
name
master.
wrong.
Yes.
Yeah, that's not how you spell my name, but isn't he supposed to be the smartest man in town?
It was one of the scribes.
Very well, come in.
I'm sure.
Come in. And
It's a small
all
town.
of you? Is it all of you? This whole group, even the
Thank you.
dirty one? All right. Maybe
Well,
wait in the hall.
training. They're in training.
Okay, we wait in the hall.
Going in.
Well, he's mostly saying that to Percy. You can go in with him, Rona, if you want. All right, so you enter into
Okay.
this place. Yeah.
You
It
better-
is a mess. This cartography office. There are maps kind of scattered about. It's a rather cramped office. It's got some ambient light coming in. Dusty bookshelves. There's an enormous oak desk in the middle. It's just cluttered with ink pots, and there's all sorts of strange implements and tools for map making. And you can see that there is on the wall this massive map of the area, of the region. And he looks and he says, what was the map that Allustan was hoping to examine?
the possible location of the Whispering Cairn.
Whispering Cairn. What has he
That's what
gotten
it's like,
himself into now?
It is not my place to ask, sir.
We're just the errand people.
Personal assistance.
Indeed. Well, let me see.
Said
And
something
he-
about studying it or something with that.
well, I suppose he is one to study,
We'd love to borrow
study.
it if possible. If not, we could make a copy.
Yes, well, I might be able to help you. Yes, let me see. He goes over to a locked glass case, and you can see inside the case there are all sorts of rolled up maps in it, and he unlocks it with another one of his keys. It takes him a couple of tries before he gets the right key, and he opens it up, and he kind of rifles through this box of rolled up maps, and he finally, yes, here we go. He pulls it out, and he lays it down on the oak table and sort of spreads it out, and he says, yes, the Whispering Cairn, you say. Yes, here we go. Well, this map here has been a lifelong work of mine, so I'm not even inclined to let it leave my office, as you can probably imagine. But if you have the time and the skill to do a bit of copying, I would allow it.
I brought my ink pot just for that very purpose, sir.
How do you make these maps, by the way? Do you actually go to these locations and
Much survey work, yes.
learn
Lots.
where they are, or do you hear this from other
Indeed.
people?
No, indeed. These are all verified by myself or my team. The topography, where the rivers and streams flow, where the cairns are. So yes, you would like to make a copy, is that it? Very well.
Yes, very much so. And pull out the ink and parchment, start making a copy of the relevant location of the Whispering Cairn.
Okay.
With respect to Diamond Lake.
Give me a intelligence check as you are making this. This is going to be just a normal check for you, so it'll be a 12. This is going to be the target. Some loud typing going on there.
That's a 10 total.
Okay. It takes you longer. It takes you a long time. It takes you a
Guilt.
long time.
Sorry.
Actually, it's an 11, but yeah.
Okay, so it still doesn't quite meet it, but that doesn't mean that you aren't able to make a copy of the map. It just means that perhaps some of the detail work is lacking. You're not a cartographer. None of you in the group is a cartographer, so it's not necessarily an easy task. But you are able to, over the course of about an hour, sort of lay out at least a path to the what appears to be the location of a set of cairns, including one that is has a note actually written next to it, says the Whispering Cairn.
I'm gonna write that on my map too. Excellent. All right. If I have all the information that I think I need, we'll put some sand on that parchment, let it dry, and make our way out of here.
Yeah, do you want to ask him any questions or anything, or just head on out?
Well, that went pretty smooth.
Need to thank him.
I mean,
Very
Goldie was doing great at asking questions. I was trying to make a map.
Cool.
I don't know.
All right, so you guys take off.
You asked him if he'd been there, right? Yeah.
She did.
Okay. Then yes. Thank you very much, Master Cicada. We'll be on our way then.
Best of luck to you then.
It's amazing. We managed to do something and didn't have to kill anyone. Yep.
Or break
What's that?
Yeah.
What?
It's just me thinking too much. I've been to my first Heironeous service and it was amazing.
Ah, yes. They do put on quite a good show over there, don't they? All right, so you guys leave. You guys head out. You guys head back to down the hill.
Yes.
Yep. We'll just
Pleasure
fast
meeting you.
forward.
Bye.
We'll move forward. You guys head out. Head back down the hill.
Grandfather.
Yep. And I think this will be a good point for us to take a break, and then we'll come back and find out what you guys want to do with what you have. You've got a map that presumably will lead you to the location of the Cairn Hills. There is what appears to be not the Cairn Hills, but to the Whispering Cairn. There is, and he probably would have pointed this out to you as you were doing this, that there's also an abandoned mine that he talks about in that area, in an old mine, an abandoned mine office in that area. That so he gives you a little bit of context for the area. He's been there before, and he's stayed in the mine office. It is about roughly 3 hours journey from Diamond Lake, so it will take some time to get there. But yeah, he gives you a little bit of information about that particular location, and a little bit about the background. There was a previous owner who abandoned the mine after the mine ran dry, sort of thing. So anyhow, we'll come back in a couple of minutes, folks. Thanks for hanging out with us. Appreciate you all for being here, and we'll see you in just a couple of short minutes. Thanks.